gosh, what a reaction from that crowd. And this is something that people talk about still all the time. I see them bring it up constantly about how heartbroken they were. I've seen where some people say that they cried whenever this
Yeah,
happened.
I
But
hear that too. Yeah.
man, really cool that you got to be part of such, some really iconic moments in WWF history like this.
It's amazing that just that group of guys, that generation of people just remember that era. That's why it's so humbling to go on these Comic Cons and sports signings and have people line up to get your autograph and spend their hard-earned money. I mean, that's why I got to have a little few words with them. They're like, "Move the line along, Duggan." I'm like, "Yeah, wait a minute, hey, brother."
Yeah, this guy's been waiting, whatever, 30 years
Yeah,
in some
right.
cases
Yeah,
to meet
spending
you.
hard-earned money, and then you sit next to some guy who I was next to Tyrus one time. He had a headset on.
Really?
My brother, and just signing.
Come on,
Um,
man.
and it's all relative. People say, "Oh, Hacksaw." People are really excited to see you. They pie face me if Hogan's sitting behind me. It's Hacksaw Duggan. There's Hulk Hogan. You got to know where you are on the totem pole.
Well, coming out of this, Jim, you get injured as you mentioned. How long are you laid up? I know that they turn it into an angle and shoot some vignettes with you and Deborah, which we'll cover next time. But how long were you
Yeah.
down?
Excuse me. Pardon.
How long were you down though with this injury?
Just a couple of weeks, yeah. Not long, because back then, if you didn't work, you didn't get paid. So you could wrestle, work tags or whatever, just work the apron, and stay away from the ribs, whatever. But cracked ribs, you can't do much for anyway.
Is
You wear a
Rodney?
little. They give you, like, especially back then, they wrap you in an ace bandage. There you go, that'll help.
Yeah, you're fine now. So is Rodney like protecting you whenever he drops the bonsai drop like here on like going light, or do you
Well, he
remember?
knows too. This is obviously a big angle. It's on television. We got a chance to shine. If you're going to miss this way instead of that way.
Yes.
So yeah, you want to be live out there, and he was live, and of course I hope my stuff was too, because that was a big moment, and we realized that.
It's cool that you had like the foresight to know, okay, this is really over. We've really got to sell it and make the most out of it. And you guys did,
Well,
it's
yeah.
something.
Plus, they didn't. I didn't do a whole. They didn't give me a whole lot, and I thought that even though I was getting crushed, there's an example. Do your best job at getting beat you can possibly do. You don't have to win the match to get over. And there's an example where Yoko beat the hell out of me, but I was able to get that sympathy, which is really, really, especially for a big guy. Especially back then, I was 280. Now I'm 220, but 280 big. That's why it was easier always to wrestle a bigger guy to get sympathy from. If you're wrestling Shawn Michaels, they're like, "Well, hit him back, Hacksaw." You're wrestling Yokozuna. He's killing him. He's killing him.
Do you think it's tough for a guy like the Big Show or Andre to become baby faces because of that? Because like who reasonably would they sell for?
Yeah, good point. Yeah, but wrestling's wrestling, and they had Ray wrestle the Big Show,
Yeah,
and it's suspension of disbelief.
that's it. We're almost done, Jim. Couple more, and I'll let you go.
Thank God.
Reportedly,
Oh,
oh, you love getting to spend time with me.
have a good time with you, Marky.
I love it too, man. Uh,
I saw your
reportedly,
show with Ted. I got to give Ted the shot.
I'll show him this. He'll love it.
Yeah.
Reportedly, a station in Los Angeles refused to air this moment because of heavy protests from the Association of Asian Pacific American Artists. A spokesperson from the station said that they were
Oh,
not in the business of perpetuating stereotypes. Jim, did you ever hear any of this?
no, but I wish I did. That means it's really got over, man. Holy
Right?
smokes. Especially before social media.
Yep.
Imagine now. But wrestling was very stereotypical. Junkyard Dog, Kamala, Hacksaw Duggan. I mean, Ivan Putski, Nikolai Volkov, the Iron Sheik. That's just the way it was back then. Now, of course, the whole show get canceled.
Right.
But back then, that was just, Polish power, Ivan Putski, Tito. I mean, that's just
It
the
had
way it was.
it had been a standard in wrestling for years, so it's kind of feels like they're being very choosy on when they wanna be offended by it, you know? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah,
But that
no,
was
it's
good it got over that well that they got hot about it. Holy smokes, yeah.
I was gonna say any headlines, for wrestling are good headlines,
Right,
I
well,
think
unless
so.
you're riding with a sheik, you don't want that headline, bro.
Right. Yeah, I guess there's some that maybe aren't so
I
great.
could have done without that one.